All right, we've been given an extract of a balance sheet for all limited for the year ended 31st December 2020 and the year and 31st December 2021. We have our information here. Inventory for 2020, for 2021, trade receivables for 2020, 2021, trade payables for 2020 and 2021. Okay, we've been given an extract from the income statement that says credit purchases are 70% of cost of sales, right? And credit sales are 40% of sales revenue, all right? So we have to find the inventory turnover, inventory days, receivable turnover, receivable days, payables turnover, and the payables days, all right? So we're going to start. Inventory turnover, inventory, how many times sell our goods basically. Okay, how many times the goods are sold in a year. So it's going to be cost of sales divided by average inventory, right? So cost of sales, we have 50,000 divided by, let's get our average inventory for 2020 and 2021. Right, so let's do this. We're going to add both of them. Yes.
Are we finding the inventory turnover or just the inventory? Is it you wrote the wrong formula? I wrote the inventory turnover is equal to average turnover and average inventory over cost of sales and divided.
Yes, now I'm showing you the other way you can get it. All right, where you start by inventory turnover, then you get the days. Okay, you start first, you get the inventory turnover, how many times inventory is converted into cash, then now you get the specific number of days. Okay, okay, so I'm going to get 25,000 plus 35,000, get 60,000. Then we divide that by 2. 60,000 divided by 2, we get 30,000. All right, so I'm going to get 50,000, which is our cost of sales, divided by 30,000, which is our average inventory. All right, we'll say
So write that 6,000 instead of 6,000.
this is 6.
Okay, yeah.
That's 6.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so let me do this. Let me put 50. So we can divide 50,000 by 30,000. 50,000 divided by 30,000, we get 1.667. All right, we can round that off to 2. 1.66. We round that off to 2. All right. Then after we get our inventory turnover, I want to get our inventory days. All right, inventory turnover. Right. So now we want to get our inventory days. So say, so another way you can find inventory days is inventory days equals 365 divided by inventory turnover. Okay, so we're going to say 365 divided by 2. 365 divided by 2. Let me just do the we get 182.5 days. 182.5 days. This is very alarming. This is very alarming. Okay, next we get our receivables turnover. Okay, get our receivables turnover.
So if we use the other for when, we still find the same.
Yes, if you use inventory days equals average inventory over cost of sales times 365.
I think that one is better. The first one, the first cut is a bit better.
Okay, I'm just giving you scenarios where they can bring these things, I want you to see all the scenarios. Okay?
Alright.
Yes. But the other way is better because you just get it fast. Okay? You just get it fast. Okay? So we have to get receivables turnover. Okay? How many times we collect cash from debtors? That's basically what it's saying. Receivables turnover. How many times we collect cash from debtors? So receivables turnover is credit sales, okay, divided by average accounts receivable, okay, or average trade receivables, either way. All right, so we said credit sales are 40% of the sales revenue. So we're going to get 40%, which is 0.4 of 130,000. Okay, so 0.4, which is 40%, times 130,000, we get 52,000. So we say 52,000, which means that's credit sales. Okay, then we get our average trade receivables. We'll say 17,500 plus 21,500, we get 39,000. All right, then we divide it by 2. 39,000 divided by 2, 19,500. Okay, that's our average trade receivables. So we'll say it's going to equal to 52,000 divided by 19,500 divided by 19,500. Let's see what do we get. 2 divided by 19,500 get 2.6666. So we round it off to 3. Okay, this is the number of times our customers pay for their debts. Now we get the trade receivable days, right? Trade receivable days. We're going to say 365 divided by the receivables turnover. We're going to say 365 divided by 3. Okay, I think that was the answer. 365 divided by 3. Just put it now. 365. 365 divided by 3, we get 121.666. So we say 122 days. All right, this is 4. All right. Then we get our payables turnover. All right. How many times we pay our suppliers. All right. So say payables turnover equals credit purchases. All right. Credit purchases divided by average trade payables. All right. So what our trade payables here? 20,000 in 2020, 20,000 in 2021. So 20,000 plus 20,000, that's 40,000. 40,000 divided by 2, that is still 20,000. Okay. So average would be 20,000. Then we said credit purchases are 70% of cost of sales. Right? So we're going to find 70% of the cost of sales, 0.7, okay, 50,000 multiplied by 0.7, we get 35,000. All right, so our credit purchases are 35,000. So say 35,000 divided by 20,000. Okay, so 35,000 divided by 20,000. 1.75, which we can round off to 2. Okay, we can round it off to 2. All right. So basically pay our suppliers twice. Right now, we find the trade payable days. Trade payable days equals 365 divided by payables turnover. Okay. So say again, 365 divided by 2, and we got 182.5 days. 182.5 days, which we can just say as 182 days. Okay, 182 days. So we can also calculate our operating cycle, okay, and our net operating cycle. Okay, so we say operating cycle equals inventory days plus trade receivable days. All right, so inventory days was 100 and inventory days was how much? 182.5. We'll say it 183. Forgot to round it off. Going to 183 plus 122. All right. So 183 plus 122. Say 183 plus 122. As it refills this value. 183. So put 122. Why is it refusing to add 183 plus 122? Okay, we get 305 days. Okay, 305 days. Okay. Remember, the operating cycle is the time between we purchase inventory and when we collect cash from the sale of inventory. Now, I'm going to get the net operating cycle, okay, where we're going to subtract 305 days from our trade payable days, which is 182. So say net operating cycle, net operating cycle, okay, go to inventory days plus trade payable days minus trade payable days.
Mr. Mala,
Yes,
on the trade payables days, you don't round off the what? The 5 for you to get 183 days. You just on trade payables
I've rounded off
days.
I rounded off everything.
No, check the trade payables days. You just rounded on the operating cycle. Have you seen it?
Where are you talking about specifically?
There, yes, there where you have highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing 182. Isn't it supposed to be 183?
We got 182.5 of 183 days.
Yes.
305 minus 183, you get 122 days. And remember, the net operating cycle is the length of time between paying for the inventory and collecting cash from the sale of the inventory.